You don't truly realize your knees are getting weaker while you were sitting still. You realize it in the very first second when you have to stand up. If you are a senior, over 60, and recently you've noticed that you have to push harder with your hands when getting out of a chair, stand up from bed more slowly in the morning, or step down the stairs while your hand automatically reaches for the railing, then this is not just normal aging. Maybe your knees are not broken. Maybe they are simply lacking the right support at the moments when they need it most. That is what confuses many people. They can still walk, still go outside, still do housework, and still try to keep their health as good as possible. But then there are very small moments that make them worry. Standing up from the sofa, getting up after sitting and watching TV, turning in the kitchen, stepping out of a car, or bending down to pick something up from the floor. It is not always severe knee pain. Sometimes it is simply a slight shaking in the knees, unsteady legs, or the feeling that the body needs a few seconds to become stable again. That is why in today's video, I don't want to just give you a list of knee exercises like ordinary videos. I want to look with you at 4 moments during the day where weak knees often show up most clearly. Because to strengthen knees after 60, you don't always need to train harder. You need to teach your body to respond better in real-life situations, getting out of bed, standing up from a chair, stepping down the stairs, and turning without feeling unstable. This is a more practical type of exercises for seniors, not for performance, but to help your knees feel more reliable in everyday life. The first moment we will start with is in the morning, right before you place your feet on the floor. This is the time when many people over 60 realize their knees are no longer the same as before. It is not always severe pain. Sometimes it is simply a feeling of stiffness, slowness, heaviness, or lack of stability during the first few steps. You sit up on the edge of the bed. Both feet touch the floor. You are getting ready to stand up. But instead of standing up naturally like you used to, your body hesitates a little. One hand reaches for the edge of the bed. One foot goes down first. You wait a few seconds for your knees to feel more stable before you start walking. This happens every morning, but many people begin to think, I guess I'm just getting old. Sometimes the problem is not age. After lying still all night, the muscles around the knees, especially the front thigh muscles, have not truly started participating yet. If you spring up too quickly, the knees have to take the load before the muscles have time to support them. So before getting out of bed, try one very small thing. Sit on the edge of the bed. Gently extend one leg forward with your heel touching the floor. Lightly tighten the front of your thigh for 3 seconds. Then release. Do this 5 times on each side. No need to squeeze hard. No need to lift your leg high. Just wake up the front thigh muscles before you begin your day. Think of this movement as a gentle reminder to your body. Don't let the knees work alone. After you have awakened your knees in the morning, the next moment often appears more times throughout the day than you may realize: standing up from a chair. It sounds very ordinary, but for many people over 60, this is when the knees reveal the problem most clearly. Not when you are walking, but when you get up from the sofa, stand up from the dining table, rise after watching TV, or get out of a low chair in the living room. You may notice that you are starting to push with your hands more, or you have to lean your body far forward, or after standing up, you still need 1 second to regain your balance. This does not mean you are completely weak. It simply shows that the thighs, hips, and glutes are not coordinating well enough to lift your body up smoothly and steadily. So the next time you stand up from a chair, don't rush to spring up. Sit near the edge of the chair. Place both feet under your knees. Lean your body slightly forward, as if your nose is moving toward your toes. Then slowly stand up. Hold for 1 second at the top. Then sit back down even more slowly than when you stood up. Don't let your body drop into the chair. It is during the slow sitting down phase that the muscles around the knees are relearning how to break and protect the joint. If the chair is too low, place a firm pillow on the chair. If you need to use the armrests, use them. The goal is not to prove that you are strong. The goal is to help your knees feel supported. When you can stand up from a chair more steadily, The next moment that often worries many people even more is stepping down the stairs. The strange thing is that many people over 60 can still walk for quite a long time on flat ground, but as soon as they stand in front of a few stairs, the body naturally slows down. One hand reaches for the handrail, the eyes look down at each step, the feet no longer move as comfortably as before. Sometimes the scariest part is not going up, it is going down. Because stepping up requires pushing power, but stepping down requires the ability to slow and control the movement. If the thighs, hips, and feet do not coordinate well, the knees have to take too much force by themselves in that moment. So we are not training to conquer the stairs, we are training so the body feels less afraid of the moment of stepping down. Stand near a low step or a very low and stable platform. Lightly touch the handrail, wall, or table. Place one foot on the step. Slowly lower the other foot down, only letting the toes lightly touch the floor. Then bring the foot back. Do this 3 to 5 times on each side. Move slowly. What you need to feel is, can the knee control the movement? If it hurts, reduce the height or simply practice a gentle weight shift. When you learn how to step down with control, the stairs will feel less like a threat and begin to become a normal part of life again.
But there is another moment that is even more subtle than the stairs. It happens in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the yard, or when someone calls you from behind. It is the moment when you turn your body. It sounds very simple, but for many people over 60, turning quickly is when the knees suddenly feel unsteady. You are standing at the kitchen counter, turning to grab a glass. You step out of the car, then turn to close the door. You hear someone call from behind and turn around a little too quickly. It is only a small movement, but the knees may feel as if they are one step behind. The reason is that the knees do not like sudden twisting. They need the feet, hips, and torso to move in the same direction. If the feet stay fixed while the torso turns too quickly, the knees often have to absorb the twisting force in the middle. So practice this very gently. Stand near a kitchen counter or a sturdy table. Lightly touch it with both hands for safety. Shift your weight onto your right leg. Gently turn your torso to the right, allowing your foot and knee to follow in the same direction. Return to the center. Then switch to the left side. Move slowly with a small range of motion, 5 times on each side. This is not an exercise for turning as far as possible. This is an exercise to help the body relearn how to turn with control. Remember this sentence: the knees do not like being surprised. They like the feet and hips to tell them the direction first. When you turn more steadily, small things like turning in the kitchen, stepping out of a car, or changing direction while walking will begin to feel less frightening.
This leads us to a very important question. If you still walk every day, why do these moments still feel weak? The answer is because walking and knee control are not exactly the same thing. Walking has a fairly steady rhythm. Left foot, right foot, moving forward, one direction, one familiar speed. Walking is still very good for your health. It supports cardiovascular health, circulation, mood, and overall mobility. But for many people over 60, the problem is not when they are walking straight on flat ground. The problem appears when the body has to transition, from lying down to standing, from sitting to standing, from standing to stepping, from stepping up to stepping down, from walking straight to turning. Those are the moments when the knees need the thighs, hips, feet, and balance system to coordinate very quickly. If those areas respond slowly, the knees may feel weak, shaky, or unreliable. That is why some people can still walk for 30 minutes, but struggle to stand up from a low chair. Some people walk around the neighborhood every morning, but still have to hold the handrail when going downstairs. So our goal is not to stop walking. It is to add small movements that help the knees handle real-life moments better. Walking keeps you moving, but transition strength is what helps you feel safe while living an ordinary day.
If your knees are currently painful, if you have had a joint replacement, arthritis, or a previous injury, the next part is very important because not everyone should do the same version. I want you to remember this first. A good exercise is not one that makes you better at tolerating pain. A good exercise is one that helps your body feel safer after you finish it. If you have arthritis, reduce the range of motion.
Don't try to sit down too deeply, don't try to step down too low, and don't try to move quickly just to get it done. If you have had a knee replacement or hip replacement, only move within the range your doctor or physical therapist has allowed. In particular, avoid strong knee twisting movements or deep bending if your body is not ready. If you have a meniscus tear or have ever felt your knee catching, locking, or giving sharp pain when turning, be careful with twisting movements and squats. Keep everything smaller, slower, and always use support. If standing up from a chair causes pain, raise the chair height with a firm cushion. If stepping down the stairs makes you worried, practice gentle weight shifting first, without needing to actually step down yet. If turning makes your knee feel unstable, let your feet turn with your body. Don't twist your torso while your feet stay fixed. And if any movement causes sharp pain, pain that gradually increases, obvious swelling, or makes you walk worse afterward, stop. That is not failure. That is your body telling you that this version is not suitable for you yet. After 60, being smarter does not mean exercising more. It means knowing how to adjust the movement so you can still continue tomorrow.
Now, instead of turning these movements into a long workout, we will turn them into a practical 7-day plan. Not training by exercise, but training according to the very moments during the day when your knees lose confidence the most. Over the next 7 days, I want you to choose the 2 moments that are most difficult for you. It may be getting out of bed in the morning. It may be standing up from the sofa. It may be stepping down the stairs. It may be getting out of a car, or turning in the kitchen while holding something. If morning is when your knees feel the stiffest, do 5 gentle thigh contractions before standing up. If standing up from a chair is the hardest part, do 3 slow sit-to-stand repetitions during the day, but only from a chair that is high enough and sturdy. If the stairs make you worried, practice shifting your weight near the handrail first. You do not need to step down deeply yet. If turning makes your knees feel unstable, practice gentle turning at the kitchen counter, allowing your feet and knees to move in the same direction. Each day, just 5 minutes. But do it with intention. After 7 days, don't just ask, "Is my knee pain gone?" Ask more carefully. Am I using my hands less for support? Am I sitting down with more control? Am I less afraid of the stairs? Am I turning more steadily? Do my knees feel a little more reliable? That is real progress after 60. Not a perfect body, but a body that begins to give you a greater sense of safety in the small things you do every day. Before we finish, I want to make one very important thing clear about the true goal of this video. The goal is not to say that every knee problem can be handled at home on your own. There are cases where you need a doctor. There are knees that need imaging, careful evaluation, physical therapy, and sometimes timely medical intervention. But I also don't want you to quickly conclude that your knees are hopeless just because they feel weak when you stand up, shake when going down the stairs, or no longer feel as stable as before. Sometimes the body has not given up. It simply needs to be reminded through small, safe movements at the right moments in everyday life. Getting out of bed, standing up from a chair, stepping down the stairs, turning in the kitchen. That is where confidence is rebuilt, not in one very hard workout, but in the moments when you teach your body, I can still stand up. I can still step down. I can still turn without feeling too afraid. If you are starting today, comment with the moment that is hardest for you. Getting out of bed, standing from a chair, stairs, or turning too quickly. And if you found this video helpful, save it so you can practice it over the next 7 days. Reliable knees are not rebuilt in one day. They are rebuilt through the small moments when you choose not to give up on your own body.